You are now tuning into the Soul Session.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Soul Session. I'm here with Sydney and Ricardo from Cinemoth Productions. I met them at Full Sail. They're really cool peoples. Yeah, tell them a little about yourselves. Tell them about Cinemoth and then a little about like your own film journey.
Well, that's a long story.
You go first.
Oh, I go first. So I've kind of known that I've always wanted to get into cinematography since I was like 12 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but like I always like as a kid, I would always be like, I'm going to study cinematography when I go to college and then I'm going to be a cinematographer and this and that. And then how we met, I guess we'll skip to that. That's a huge, long story. Well, we originally used to do a lot of YouTube. And then my friend Isaiah found her Instagram or something, I think like that. And he messaged her.
Oh,
and
he was hitting her DMs.
No. But no. So we wanted to do a collaboration with her because we had like our own little group. And she was kind of like, I don't think you replied, did you?
No, I did reply. He wanted me to hop on Discord.
Yeah.
And I was like,
hold on, quick pause. What did you do on YouTube? Because they don't know.
Oh, my bad.
We were hardcore gamers.
Yeah, pretty much. We'd only do like game videos and stuff like that. Sometimes some really weird, like funny, like
very much
videos.
Comedy-esque. Yeah.
Both of you guys on separate channels. Okay,
but
cool.
the funny thing is we started doing the same exact thing separately, and then we found out about each other from like because we were in the same community, I guess. Really, not really. And again, like my friend Isaiah asked her to collaborate, and after that, I sent in a message on YouTube. Was it?
Yeah, you commented.
You can send messages. I was about to say.
You commented on my video. Yeah.
I commented on her video, and I said something. What was it?
The funniest part is like his friend slid in, and he's like, "Hey, hop on our Discord server. You know, let's collab." And I was like, "No." Like, I don't have Discord. I'm not really interested. And then he just randomly commented. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. The funny thing is, neither of us were, I guess, known for doing anything like that. Like she wasn't known to like, I guess, do stuff like randomly
like
join
answer
Discord
phone calls or anything like that.
Just communicate.
Yeah, pretty much. So I got her Discord, and then out of, I guess, impulse, I called her.
Randomly
like, on Discord,
like it's like 9:00 at night.
Yeah, it was like 10 or 11. It was
late.
Wait, so were you guys living in different places?
Yeah, I lived in Puerto Rico, and
I was in the Florida Keys.
Yeah.
Oh shit! So you guys weren't that far, though. I mean,
not really that bad.
No, it wasn't that bad. But yeah, so no, we called, and all of a sudden she answers, and I'm like, oh shit. And I get this like huge, because I'm naturally an impulsive person because I have ADHD. I had this huge burst of energy that just shot out, and I'm just saying random like garbage and can I swear?
Yeah.
Okay. And I started saying like some random bullshit and stuff.
It's like
just
the dolphin
random
sound effect.
The best part too is like our first conversation. I have it recorded.
Oh yeah,
because
I asked her like while we were talking, I told her, because we were laughing our asses off at each other and we were like joking. I was like, oh, we should record this. For some reason we were like, we should record this. This would be great for YouTube. And we obviously it was never
posted it, but I have it.
But she has she has a recording of our first ever conversation.
Oh my god, I want to hear it.
Ever had.
I don't know if you want to hear it.
No, you don't want to hear it.
It's like random bullshit
random,
when we were.
How old were you?
That's what I was trying to think of too. You were 15.
No.
Because you turned. No.
Are you sure?
You're 15 because we met in like December, and then you turn 16.
No, you're right.
Was your birthday in January?
Well, we've been together for 4 years now.
Oh shit! Your birthday was this month?
Yeah, like a week ago.
8 days ago. Yeah.
What? Oh yeah, did I tell you happy birthday?
No.
On the Zoom call, I think I was like.
No, you're right. Yeah.
Damn.
You're 100% right. You're 100% right. You did.
Shit, and it's Mike's birthday today.
Yeah.
It's
everyone's birthday. Bro.
I kind of want to get a drink with y'all.
And it was Logan's birthday, the same day as his too.
Dang.
So it's all over the place.
When's your birthday?
I'm October.
Oh, okay.
So I'm later. But
I'm September, so I mean,
okay, so
we're
right
next
there.
to each other. But yeah, you were saying.
You were
guys
15.
recorded
What was I
it?
saying? Oh yeah, I
I
was
was
15.
I was 16. No, I was 17.
Dang.
She's a cougar.
Did you hear my neck?
Yeah, you want to hear something?
We're making that a reel.
Oh,
That's funny. But back to what we were saying. Yeah, so I was. The age doesn't matter. She's Sydney's a cougar. Blah blah blah.
there we go. Yeah. I confirm.
When you got the phone call from him, were you like, should I, like, were you debating answering it? Like, why is this random person calling me?
It was so strange because I was like, how old was I? I was 17.
Mm-hmm.
So ever since I was like 15, I had like really bad social anxiety. So I'm like, I can't even understand why I even answered the phone call at this point.
Something was just telling you.
Exactly. It was just like all coincidence.
Thinking about it, there's so many things that could have led to us never meeting.
Yeah, like if I never answered.
Yeah, if she never answered, if she never replied to Discord to my friend on Instagram, because I think he messaged you on Instagram.
And you just dubbed him. You were like,
I was like,
thanks.
no.
Well, and then even our relationship, there are so many things that were not normal. Like usually neither of us would even think about doing long distance. We both even told each other at one point
We'd never do it.
that we would never ever do it.
We were long distance for 2 years.
Yeah, so we were
long
distance
time.
for 2 years.
Did you guys meet each other during that 2 years at all? Like in person?
Yeah. Well, we
Okay.
met in person first.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we met in person.
Okay, but hold on. After this phone call, what happened? Like, did y'all just start texting every day?
Yeah, we started collaborating and doing videos together, and we kind of our communities. The funny thing is, our communities merged.
Okay.
And we
Yeah,
started
they
growing
would
from
start
that.
to ship us.
Yeah, that's true. People
And
started to ship us.
We
Do you
go
have a ship
along with
name?
it. It was so my gamer name was Slayer, and
that's why that Google.
That's why, yeah.
Okay.
his is Blameful.
It's
so
funny.
together,
Some people would do like. So we used to get
Blameful Slayer.
Slayer.
Blair.
Okay.
Yeah. We would get a lot of fan art.
Mhm.
What?
Like
Yeah, a lot of it.
yeah. Like I literally on my phone, I've saved every single piece of fan art that anybody ever made, and I think it ended up being like a couple hundred like pictures.
I want to see these. We gotta put some in the podcast.
Yeah.
I can.
Like at my house, like my mom's house, I have them in my old bedroom. They're on the wall.
What? That's
It's
so
pretty cool. So we actually we ended up hiring one of our friends, or not, well, now friends, but we ended up hiring one of those people to start doing our thumbnails and things like that. And well, she's great. Well, every so often now we'll try to get her something or give her like a job and stuff, but she I don't know, it doesn't seem like she's that interested anymore. But honestly, like she's a phenomenal artist. Like she's probably one of the best artists I've ever seen. Actually, she drew the concept art for the Amphibian film that we did.
that's
For the
dope.
monster and stuff. I told her, hey, this is what I want. Like, I still know exactly the pictures I sent her and everything. I was like, this is what I want. Can you come up with some like concept of it? And she was like, yeah, sure. And she made it, and it
check
looks great.
out their short film Amphibian. Where can they find it?
It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amphibian
It's
short
an
film.
award-winning short film too.
Cool.
But it's a student film. I won't lie.
It's a student, yeah.
Yeah, like both, we're very proud of it, but we know it's not like the greatest thing in the world. Like when you go into it, be aware that it's a student film. Like you're not going to see.
Awesome though, and the monster, like
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
yeah, that
We
was
actually
dope.
we have the suit and everything still,
That's awesome.
and we want to get a mannequin and put a bulb in its head so that way it's like a lamp. So
Oh
I
my
think
God,
that'd be
that's
really
so
fun.
cool.
Yeah, and then put it in like in a corner or something.
Yeah, when you guys get like a studio or something,
Just
you should,
have it
like,
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when people walk in, like it could be like a museum type of like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah, we
I
keep
think
all
it'd
of
be
our
fun.
props.
Yeah, we have at least 2 or 3 props from every single film that we make.
That's awesome.
Although we haven't been able to do anything recently because short films don't pay. But yeah, so then where were we with the story? Now we sit in silence.
People were shipping us.
Yeah, so people would ship us and do like fan art and stuff,
Mhm.
which at the time we're both so blind to it. Like we were like, oh, I don't like her.
We just,
she
like,
was like,
went
oh,
in
I
with
don't like
it.
him.
But didn't think anything of
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
You guys didn't have like secret feelings like,
Well, like,
behind it all.
My whole thing was I would see like his Instagram or whatever and be like, oh, he's out of my league. So I would just
Yeah.
just get rid of the thought.
Damn.
Yeah, I think it.
And what were you? What was like? Where were you at with that?
I was just kind of. I guess I was just kind of like a dumb guy. I think that's the best way to put it. I wasn't like aware of anything. I was just so, I guess, out of it in terms of that. Like
It's
I
a
never
lot of
really,
guys.
yeah, I never really thought about it because I was like, oh, we're friends. It's nothing's gonna come out of it, you know. But then later on, before we actually met in person, I started getting feelings for her and stuff like that. And
Were you guys talking like every day or just?
we
Yeah.
started
dating?
talking every
It
day.
started to like we were in like probably like a friend group of 4,
Mhm.
and it started slowly like going down to only the 2 of us.
Uh-huh.
And like they'd get busy and it's like, okay, then we'll talk. And it was
Mhm.
every day, like as soon as I got home from work, we were in a phone call.
Yeah. But, and then after and then it started snowballing and stuff like that. And like,
Mhm.
I think I waited 3 months till I actually like asked her
Mhm.
from like, you know, I think that's way too long for most people, like 3 months waiting to ask somebody out. But at the same time, like I didn't want to, we had such a good friendship that it was kind of hard for me to be like, I like you. And I didn't want to ruin all that. And,
Mhm.
yeah,
Aw.
that's
So like when he said that, were you like, were you waiting? Were you like, when is he gonna ask? me?
yeah.
It was like it was strange because I was on a family vacation.
Yeah.
And he called me and I didn't answer. And I texted him. I was like, hey, like, we're having dinner. I'll call you after. And
Yeah.
I'm like, is it a big deal? And he's like, no, but call me when you can. I'm like, okay.
Because I was telling myself, I was like, this is the night I'm going to tell her like how I feel. And if it goes sideways, then that's that. Like, I
Yeah.
can't keep like dragging this out.
Mhm.
But yeah, we'll save the story of how I asked for another day. Because that's,
Why another day?
Why?
it's so awkward for me.
Okay, how about you tell us?
No.
I can say it.
I mean, you can, but I think it's so
It's
dumb.
not a big deal.
It was so stupid.
So there I was,
Yeah.
minding my own business.
Oh my God.
You're like, ugh, why is this guy calling me?
I call him back. And one thing with Rick is he always has something to talk about.
Mhm.
He's never quiet unless something's like majorly wrong.
Yeah.
So I call him and I'm like, oh, what's up? And he's like, oh, nothing. It's like, okay. There's nothing you wanted to talk about?
I was so nervous. All
No.
right.
I'm like,
Oh
all
my
right.
God.
And he's like, well, there's one thing that we could talk about if you want. And I was like, okay.
I'm looking back right now and I'm like, I could not have been any more awkward about that.
Because I knew something was off right away.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And he's like, so there's this girl.
Oh my gosh.
And she's like a friend. It kind of describes the whole thing to me. And I like her, but I don't want to ruin the
Oh my God.
relationship.
I
and
could
the whole
not.
time you're like,
In my head, I'm like, oh my God, it's me.
I was really fucking nervous.
It's like your classic
Think about it though.
too.
If you build that up for 3 months, fuck
It's
yeah,
a
you're gonna be
hard,
nervous.
yeah.
Like there's no easy way of saying it.
I could see y'all like making a short film out of, because like this is an
Out of that.
interesting like story. Like not a lot
Yeah.
of people
Yeah.
read- and like I could see you like little Ricardo like in the mirror like practicing like
Okay.
you're like,
you
got
want to
this."
laugh? I think if I
You did.
remember correctly, I think I did practice in the mirror on how I was gonna say it, even
Even
though
though
I'm not even
it's
seeing
over
her.
the phone.
Yeah, I could have easily like scripted it if I wanted to.
Yeah. Wrote
but
it down.
I was so damn nervous that I like looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, "This is what I'm gonna say. This and that.
This is
This
it."
is that."
Aw.
Yeah. But,
Okay, so he just kept
So-
saying that, and you were,
Yeah.
what'd you say about it?
So he said the words like, I've known her for a long time. And at this point, we've only known each other 3-4 months.
Mhm.
no,
So-
it was like 6.
Maybe. Yeah,
It was-
no, you're right. It was probably like
6 to
6.
7 months by then. For me, that was a long time
Mhm.
because I hadn't kept like let me specify. I hadn't kept an online friend for that long.
Right.
Usually, like
So
when
that
you're
was
playing
long.
online, you would run through people like crazy. Not that you wanted to, but that's just how it was.
Just how it was.
You know, it's hard to fit in sometimes because when you start moving to a different game, they might not have it or they might not want to play it, and it's just like that. And especially with YouTube, like you try to do different pieces of content, and then you kind of either outgrow that person.
You guys were
or
young too, like on the YouTube grind. Like, that's crazy.
Well, we were doing it every day nonstop.
Yeah. So he was telling you all this stuff. What did you say?
He said, I've known her for a long time. And I was like, oh, we've only known each other for 6 months. So I was bummed because I was like, well, it's not me. But whatever. And I talked him through it. I'm like, well, if you're really friends, then it'll be fine. The usual. And then I give him all this like motivation. He goes, I like you, Sydney. And I thought there was more to come with that. Like, thank you for being a friend. So I'm like,
as a friend.
I'm like, oh yeah, you like me. And he goes, no, I like you. And I was like, what? And then he asked, he's like, would you be willing to do long distance?
Yeah, because I remember we both, sorry, not to cut you off.
You're fine.
But we had both talked about it beforehand. Like, just as friends, we were just like, oh, I would never do that. Like, that wouldn't be fun or blah, blah, blah. And I think that's part of the reason I was so nervous, because there's that chance of her being like, I don't want to do distance or this and that. And then the rest of it would just be awkward. But yeah, no. So I had this like really bad feeling of she's not going to want to do long distance. I honestly kind of didn't want to do it, but I really liked you and I wanted to try at least. So yeah, I mean, that was that.
Yeah, but I wasn't sure, so I made him wait the night. I was like, I'll let you know tomorrow.
Oh my God. That was the worst thing, the worst feeling.
I said,
ever.
let me think about it.
Oh my God.
And
I would have started crying when I got off the phone.
The funniest part is apparently she talked to her friend and she was super excited about it and she was gonna say yes and didn't just say yes to me. Yeah. So you built it up for me for no fucking
because our friend knew both sides.
Yeah.
So she knew he was gonna ask me out.
But she didn't tell you?
No. And then she was like, well, what are you going to say? Because I'm talking to her. I'm like, oh my God, he just asked me out. What do I do? And so she's talking both of us through it.
She told me.
Yeah. Like
She told me. I think I remember she told me like, oh, she's into you.
Yeah. She's like playing both sides.
Yeah.
It was too funny.
That's funny.
And then the next morning I was like, all right, let's do it. Yeah. That's about it.
Like, why not? And then ever since, like, I mean, I don't know. We didn't do anything like, I guess, different. It was just like, I guess, official.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because I mean, when you're online, what the fuck are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's different.
Like, I can't take you out on a date if I'm God knows how many miles away.
When did you guys see each other like in person for the first time?
Well, I went with a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't want to out him out, but
you give him a fake
just
name.
Don't name drop. You're fine.
No, I mean like the whole story.
It's pretty funny.
I'll let you say it because your side is funnier than mine.
Kind of.
Okay, I'll say it. So I went with a friend. Let's just say his name's Robert. I went out with Robert, and we planned all three of us. We had planned to like go see Sydney and all that.
Go meet up at Dolphin Mall.
Yeah,
in Miami.
And he had told me the night before that he had feelings for Sid. And
What?
I didn't tell him that I had feelings for her as well, because it's like, okay, well, I'm not gonna
You
tell
guys weren't dating at this point?
No.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
No.
okay.
It's not, that ain't that kind of situation.
This was like 3 months before.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, he had told me that, and I'm like, oh shit. Well, now I can't, that's just awkward if I date her now.
Mm-hmm.
But no, we all went out and we had a blast at Dolphin Mall and stuff like that. And I think
Malls are such the hangout spot.
I know.
Yeah. There was so many things to do.
But like, there is, but it's like, we're walking around.
Yeah,
like,
pretty much.
the whole time.
And our first in-person date was 4 months into the relationship, which was also at Dolphin Mall. So if you notice on our left hands, we have these bracelets. And these are
these.
We've had this for 4 years.
Yeah,
on
these
us, and
were
we've never taken them off.
Our long distance bracelets.
You can see it's like rubbed off.
Aww.
Yeah.
Yo,
it's
crazy?
like super worn.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys have the like
This is the
coordinates
of Dolphin Mall.
No,
Wow.
specifically Johnny Rockets at
Yeah.
Dolphin Mall, because that's where we had our first date. It was so much better than it is now. Do not go there.
Don't go there now.
No,
It's
it was
terrible.
awful. But when we went, it was actually like, you know, the people that are managing it and everything. It was really, really good. So we were like, you know, screw it. You know, burgers and milkshakes. You know, it's
Yeah.
simple and cheap.
That's so true that like they kind of like suck now.
Yeah.
Like, but
Not
I
they used to be so
remember,
good.
yeah, they
It used to be awesome.
fire.
Yeah.
It's a vibe.
No
But,
offense, Johnny Rockets.
Please sponsor
I
us.
love your food.
Did. Keyword.
Did. But no, we didn't just do that. Like then the day after, we went to the Science Museum.
Mhm. Their
and
second
that
date.
was really fun.
And then our parents
Oh,
met.
and then that night, the day before, so like back at Dolphin Mall, we went to go watch. What was it?
Star Wars.
Yes, but which one?
The Rise of
It was
Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker, which is a crappy movie.
It's not good.
It was not good. But
Oof, movie dates are always like the most awkward thing. Like
Yeah.
when,
Well,
in the
funny
beginning of the
thing-
relationship.
The funny thing is that's where we had our first kiss.
Yeah.
'Cause during the movie.
Yeah,
during the
because
movie,
it
yeah.
sucked.
It
You're
was-
like,
yeah.
"Nope."
Well, it was specifically when, what was their names? It
Ray
was
and
Ray and
Kylo.
Kylo kiss, which is
Mhm.
the most awkward thing
Very
ever because
weird.
they're technically related.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're technically related, so the whole situation is awkward. But we're like, screw this, we're gonna. But it wasn't either of our first times watching that movie.
No, we've both already seen
Yeah,
it.
we just kind of went. We just kind of went to go and go do something. But bad movie. And then, long story short, just to skip ahead, we went to Full Sail because I started introducing her to movies because that's all we would do when we were
Yeah,
online.
because I didn't know what I wanted to do in
Yeah.
life. Because
Mhm.
I graduated high school at 16 because I was homeschooled.
Mhm.
So ever since I was 16, I was working like office jobs.
Mhm.
So I was like, well, I need to do something, and just could never figure it out.
Yeah. So we would watch movies all the time, and I guess I always like to analyze the movies. So how do you like to
What
say it
part of the
usually?
movies? Like, because I know you're like a DP mostly, right?
I would literally
So-
look at the shots. Like,
Okay,
I
yeah.
would
So
look,
you're
try
not
to
analyzing
analyze
the story.
No, I would
is
try
that
to
most of,
analyze
like,
the
what you would
framing
do?
and everything.
I don't know. I feel like we both did the same, kind of like all of it, because we didn't know specifically.
No,
what we
but
wanted.
I really like to analyze like angles and
Mhm.
framing and how the
Mhm.
Well, I
Acting.
didn't understand lighting that well, so I didn't really look at the lighting at the time. But then again, like acting, sometimes we pretty much would judge the whole movie as a whole. We pretty much were acting like filmmakers without knowing that that's
Yeah.
what we were doing.
Mhm.
But yeah, and then after that, like I guess I introduced you to film that way.
He showed me a different way to watch movies.
Yeah.
Like I loved movies and I would just watch them for enjoyment, but he showed me you can actually watch one and break it down and see how they
Well,
did certain things.
What was like some of the first movies y'all did that like?
Shutter
Oh.
Island is a good one.
No,
Oh.
no. Remember the first movie we watched together?
Oh, but that we didn't do that to that.
We
movie.
made fun of it.
Yeah,
What
but that's not
movie?
the same thing. So we watched. What do you remember the name?
It was part of the Conjuring universe, but it's not.
It was La Llorona.
Yeah,
It's La Llorona. That movie sucks.
It's
I've
not
never seen
good.
that one.
It's not good. Don't watch it.
Did I tell y'all that like that music video I did with the girl in the red car and like I don't know if y'all seen it.
I think so.
possibly.
It's called
I've seen.
Butterflies.
I've seen. Yes.
Natalie
yeah, yes.
Lucas, shout
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love her. But you know how like in the Conjuring movies, it's like a couple and they like both can like go to the ghosts. Like so the dude
Warrens.
Patrick Wilson or whatever, you
Yeah.
know that. So his son was actually in our music video as the
What? Are you
boyfriend.
serious?
And we shot where the Sopranos shot like with some of their last season.
That's
did
cool.
I tell y'all that?
No, that's
No.
lit.
But they both went to the same high school, like the artist and
Yeah.
him. So
That's
and
lit.
That's pretty damn.
That's
lit.
super
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, so y'all were analyzing movies together.
Yeah, and then I guess I'll skip ahead so we can move on to something else.
Because
we've been
it's
talking about this for a
long.
minute now, haven't we?
Honestly, it's interesting though.
Yeah.
It's like because like not a lot of people meet like that, and then
Mhm.
you guys have a
it's-
production
it's-
company
well,
together
it's
now.
the fact that it worked. That's the
Yeah.
part that's surprising. It's not
Mhm.
because I've met plenty of people who met online, but usually it doesn't work out that
Yeah. I would have never like thought though. Like I didn't get those vibes. Like I just thought like, oh, y'all like met in high school.
Yeah.
And, like,
No.
went
A
to
A lot
the
of
same
people
high
think
school or
we met
something.
in Full Sail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most people assume that. Yeah.
So you were in Puerto Rico and you were in Florida in the Keys.
So then we both Sydney introduced me to
moved to
Full
Full
Sail.
Sail.
Yeah, and then we
Yeah.
both moved to Full Sail.
I knew
Okay.
a Full Sail because I looked at all their programs and I wanted to go there. I just didn't know what to do.
Mhm.
And then he showed me film.
And that was your first
Yeah.
time like living together.
We didn't live together.
We didn't live together at first because
Oh.
since we had I'll explain my side. I didn't want to. Not because of any doubts or anything in the relationship, because I've never really had doubts, but just because I didn't want to
Rush.
I didn't want to rush into it like that. I didn't want to put so much pressure into our relationship and go from never seeing each other to literally seeing each other every single day.
Yeah, that's a drastic
That's a
change.
huge
And not
change.
knowing each other's like
Yeah,
living
so
habits
I-
or anything.
Yeah.
Me being super technical as I am, it's more likely to succeed if we don't move together at first than if we do. But I mean, you can't really put technicals and emotions together. It's not the
But
same.
that's
thing.
honestly like very true. Like
Yeah.
It
for
was
that
pretty,
situation.
pretty smart, but we moved into the same apartment complex,
Mhm.
and he basically lived in my apartment.
Yeah, I pretty much lived with her. Yeah, I mean, I talked to my old roommate, and he's like, "Yeah, you didn't live here, man." Like,
You
Yeah.
were never here.
no, and then after that, we moved together, and then we moved over to our other friend with him. We just rented a room pretty much. And then we moved over to Georgia and started the whole Cinemoth thing. Although Cinemoth was like in the works for a long time, but we like fully kicked it when we moved because like there was nothing. I mean, I guess it was so hard to find work up there at first that we were like, look, we got to do something. We got to keep ourselves busy somehow. And I mean, it's working out pretty well.
Okay. And why Cinemoth? Like, why did you guys pick that name?
I came up with
Rick came up with it. Well, originally our name was Creech Pictures.
Mhm.
I remember it was
Yeah.
something different.
Yeah.
And Creech was like short for creature because we would do creature films.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I had a pretty cool logo that I came up with it for it.
I
And
remember
loved
seeing
it.
the old one, like when
Yeah.
we did that other music video,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Mhm.
And I loved that thing. And it was kind of hard for me to be like, let go of that. Cause again, it was like our first like logo and everything. And we were kind of, into the whole idea of it. But then we were like, look, we're not doing this by just me and Sid anymore. Now we're doing it with Julie and Sarah. So we got to come up with something for us, not just something that me and Sid and they're being integrated into it. We want something for all of us to put in our times into and for all of us to integrate. So we're in the car and we're just talking about it and trying to figure stuff out and we're like, hey, we need a new company name, blah, 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 something that'll like work for what we're wanting to do. And originally we were wanting to be a lighting equipment rental. So we would rent out lighting equipment or we would like, I would gaffer and bring the equipment or Julian would gaffer and he'd bring the equipment and stuff like that. And that's how it'd work. So I just remembered Sarah loves moths for some reason.
Mothman.
Yeah. So for some reason, yeah, she loves Mothman specifically. I won't lie. We pulled out ChatGPT and we tried it and we tried to like try to do that. It did not work at all.
Mm-mm.
What did you put? What was the prompt? Like,
I think it was something like, give me a film company name with moth in it. And it gave me the worst possible things. And it was like, I think one of them was Moth Cinema. And I was like, oh, it doesn't sound too bad. So then I was like, well, you could just grab Cinemoth, or not Cinemoth. You can grab
cinema, yeah.
and you can grab Moth, and you can probably put Moth. You can probably put Moth in front of it. And it works out because it sounds like not only do you have the moth in there, but it sounds like cinema.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why we say Cinemoth. Although
It does
sometimes
flow.
exactly,
Mhm.
Yeah.
exactly, it just sounds like cinema. And then we're gonna do Cinemoth lighting and equipment rental. That didn't roll off the tongue.
Too
So we were
wordy.
like Cinemoth
Yeah.
Productions, and then that made us think, okay, well, we should, later on we were like, well, we're called Cinemoth Productions, so we probably should start our own productions and do it that way. And it worked out because now we produce our own things and we get clients that way. And, it works out pretty well. But yeah, I mean, that's the whole story. And also, yeah, for the logo, I really, 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 really wanted Mothman, but I didn't want to be too obvious about it because like, we're not from Virginia. So I don't want people to think that we're originally from West Virginia and, and things like that. So I try to be very like specific about it. Actually, where's my phone? I had a concept that I came up with after I made this one because this was the very first logo that I made. Mm-hmm. And then later on, I was like, well, the only thing is it has nothing to do with film. It's just like a moth. Mm-hmm. Let's see.
This one or the other one?
This is the first one I ever made, the first iteration. And then the other one, I made it to be a little more relating to film. I think I might have texted it to you on Discord. So let me see.
I feel like it's cool though. Like there's a lot of brands that have like logos that don't pertain to their brand like at all.
Yeah,
and I think that's cool because it's like you can make it like whatever you want, really. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, you're doing like film production,
but you don't need to because then you look at a 20th Century Fox. What the fuck does that have to do with film?
Literally,
or
all like
Atomic Monster,
or Atomic Monster, yeah.
Blumhouse.
So it just needs to retain to your name, not what you're doing with a company.
Yes, exactly.
Here is the original. I'm gonna crop it a little bit so it's a little nicer looking. Here's the original second logo that I came up with.
Okay, it kind of looks like a butterfly though.
It does.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
Wait, can you send that to me so I can put it in there?
Yeah,
too?
I could do that. So it has the that little sword, the film reel, and then you have the moth. But it also, something that was a little subtle, is it's also retaining to theater. Because you see the two faces. It does look like a mask,
yeah.
Yeah, you can see the two masks.
Oh, that's cool. I wouldn't have. I didn't notice that.
No, it's so subtle, but that's the point of logo design is you want stuff to be subtle sometimes. But after a while, we made that the logo, and we're like, or no, we made that the logo. This is what happened for a day, and our friend Chris texted us. Mm-hmm. And he was like, why the fuck would you change your logo? It looks like shit.
Dang.
And I was like, damn, why? Why do you say that? He's like, dude, your other logo is so much more badass. And I was like, and I thought about it. I'm like, you're probably right. It doesn't need to do anything. It doesn't have to do anything, with what we do. It just needs to make sense. Like it needs to fit. So the Mothman just ended up fitting a lot more because, again, it represents us as a production company. We do a lot of monster stuff. So the Mothman aspect fits. Again, going back to that lighting, a moth fits because of the that and. I guess that was history. And I went back to that original logo and it just felt right that second time.
Yeah, you just get kind of like a feeling.
Yeah, pretty much. Like the first time it was like, it doesn't, I don't know how I feel about it, blah, blah, blah. But now I look at our shirts and stuff and I'm like,
it looks really cool.
Yeah, it makes sense. And I there's a lot of subtlety to it too.
I like just how the eyes look too.
Yeah. There's
like I like the little ripples under it.
If you notice, there's also a little hook on the eye to create some little more separation with it.
Yeah, that's cool. Right there?
It's so tidy.
It kind of looks like
it looks like
little
an eyelash.
Ghosts.
Yeah, that too. I don't know.
Like
I'm really happy with it. And actually, I have a version of the logo that actually shows the entire Mothman.
That's cool.
Which is pretty cool. But I don't think I have it on my phone or anything. I think I might have deleted it. If I find it, I'll send it to you. And you can pop it up on the screen right here. I will say I didn't study the design, but I do think I have a pretty good eye at it because I've practiced and done it so much for so many years now that I've been able to, I guess, learn it. So I don't know all the technical terms or anything like that, but I'm pretty happy with the logo and I think it looks fairly professional. Also, I designed the back of our shirts.
Yeah, I like the back too.
Yeah.
I can't really spin.
Oh. I'll just take off my shirt.
But we can put in another picture.
Yeah. Well, I could just.
We got like a slideshow right here.
Oh, there you go. It's a slate.
Yeah, it's a slate. So if you look at it, it's a slate, but it's not really in your face about it. And it says our email, because we didn't have a website when we first made the shirts, but whenever we start making more shirts, we're probably going to swap that out to
I like
the
your
website.
guys' website.
Oh, I'm super happy
Yeah.
with it. I love it.
I like redid my whole website and just like haven't put it out yet. And I feel like, I don't know.
Did you
I
make
really
it because
need
we
to.
saw ours? And then
Nah,
you were like...
No, because I made mine like 2 years ago, and I was like, it was like a white like layout. Logo was black. Like I was just like, I want to flip it. Like I want to invert everything.
Yeah.
Because usually in film, like
everything's black.
Yeah, everything around is black.
Yeah.
The white was too much. It was like it wasn't focusing on like, you know.
Yeah.
So I need to show you guys like what I have and get your opinion afterwards.
What when I was making the website, I was gonna make it black, but I felt like if we're offering packages to regular people and stuff, like I don't want it to be too in your face about it.
But it makes sense with yours.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because our logo's white.
Yeah. But yeah, your website looks like professional, and it's not like.
Well, we did a whole photo shoot too for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are nice. I was literally scrolling on Facebook and I saw like the picture of all you guys together. Like I was like, oh, this
Cinemoth family.
Yeah, I'm really happy with everything turned out, and I mean, we planned for it so much too. We're like, we're shooting at this time. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. We made shirts specifically for it. And yeah, no, I'm pretty damn happy with it.
The Instagram y'all made, did y'all make it like completely brand new for Cinemoth?
It's from scratch.
So, and you guys have probably like close to 2K, right? Like 1K. It's between then.
We're almost at 3K.
I can probably
3K.
I can
Okay.
probably
So
tell
last
you
time
right
I
now.
checked, it's grown a lot then.
It's
So how did you guys like? Yeah, let's get the numbers first.
Yeah.
Let's get that corrected.
If it'll load.
It is
It's 2,857.
Nice.
Oh, mine's at 6.
Mine's a 57.
Man.
It's an Android.
I reloaded.
Yeah, Android's
literally.
the damn Android.
So how did you guys grow it so quickly?
That's a really good
That's
question.
a Sydney question.
So there I was minding my own business.
Not communicating with anybody.
I run all the social media pages and I try to come up with fun ideas, this and that. And I'm constantly filming just BTS, whatever we're doing. Like he'll get a new zoom lens. Yes. Sometimes I'll do both because I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it.
You never know what's gonna happen.
You never know.
Yeah.
But I always film when he gets new gear. We're playing with it, and he got a new zoom lens and what else was it? It was the new zoom lens.
That was it.
And one, I guess, to mount it. It was the mount, right?
Oh, and the B4 adapter.
The mount, okay. And we were just playing with it because we had the Nucleus M, the wireless follow focus.
It's a vintage
TV
70s
lens.
TV lens.
You guys love vintage lenses.
Yeah.
I love
it's
it too.
not even meant for anything outside of like old TV work. Like if you look at it, it's not the specs of it are awful. Like it is not the greatest lens at all, but it's so specific in use. Like we shot one commercial with it because it had that like natural halation to
that's
it.
the with the doll.
Yeah.
The half doll, half like worm thing.
But outside of that, like outside of a specific look, the crappy part is it's so specific that it's hard to recreate in post, and you can't really use any other lenses because they won't match it at all. So if you use that lens, you have to shoot it the whole film or the whole whatever with it. And it's quirky, but again, like I like to be able to grab ugly and difficult things to work with and pull the beauty out of it, if that makes any sense.
I feel like it like sometimes like I know when you say the ugly, you don't literally mean the ugly.
No.
But I feel like sometimes that style is so cool. Like some people try to make their regular camera look like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. There really is beauty to like VHS and like old film.
100%. Yeah. Well, I learned the other day, but this was like 5 months ago. I figured out how I can turn regular video and I can convert it through like a whole process to make it look like VHS. And it's pretty damn cool, but it's expensive. Well, expensive in quotations. It's not really that bad. But
do you use like a lot of like plugins?
No, it has not. It's all physical. That's the cool part about it.
In DaVinci?
No, like when I say physical, I mean it's all physical stuff.
Okay. Are you like filming on like an old TV, like playing it through?
that's a cool method, but no. And that does create a cool effect because then you got that TV texture. But no, that's not how we did it. The way we did it is you grab the footage, you burn it onto a disc, then you get an old VHS recorder and you put the disc into the VHS recorder, and then you either burn that disc into a VHS, and then you record the VHS back to your computer, or you plug in a crap load of stuff to be able to record your VHS, whatever your VHS is playing, onto your computer, and then you can record it there because those cables will give it that VHS look as well. But yeah, I mean, that's how you do it. It's such a specific, complicating process. And there's like 2 or 3 ways to do it, but that's the way we do it. We try to do a film with it, but the film was so awful that we're like, we're not releasing this.
That's a cool strategy though.
It's awesome. It's really, really cool. But again, then you get cost. Then you start losing money in terms of like discs and VHS tapes and things like that. Or something you could do as well if you want to get that VHS on digital instantly is you can plug in. I've never tried it, but I've seen a lot. I've done research on it. You can get a recorder specifically to record VHS cameras on a digital like SanDisk card or SSD. Or SD card. So then you had that VHS look straight onto a SD card or SD card. Yeah.
You were saying something about the social media with the zoom lens.
So
yes,
we got the zoom lens.
We've been doing this the whole time.
It's circles. And we were filming us just playing with it. And I propped my phone in my shirt like this, so it's kind of like a POV. And I'm playing with the Nicholas M with the
The way you had your phone mounted was so funny.
It's just like this, and you can see it in the video. But I'm just pulling focus while he's just like cam mopping.
Yeah,
and we're making these Western sound effects or like a whoosh, whoosh. And I just slapped those together and uploaded it, and it blew up.
On Instagram?
On Instagram Reels.
How many views?
600,000 views.
It might be. No, it's got more now.
It's always what you don't expect.
Yeah, and it was like the least amount of effort.
We threw it out there for fun because we were like,
it has 672K. And then from there, we gained a bunch of followers. Yeah. And then we took advantage of that and started uploading constantly.
Yeah, so then the next video had like 50K.
It kept going.
And then the other one had another color.
So... did it like kind of like blow up overnight, or was it like a build up?
I think it was like overnight.
No, we uploaded it. A week went by, and then it blew up.
You think it was randomly. A week?
It was a week. I remember. It was a week. It blew up after a week, and we just started getting a bunch of followers and likes and stuff. We're like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, we're like, what the fuck?
So
why is this
strange.
blown up? Although we said we were gonna upload a video on it. But we've been so busy. I do wish that we did at the time, but I mean, it's whatever. Well, like the lens is so specific and there's so many quirks to it that I want to make that video right. Like, I don't want to be like, oh, get this lens. It's great. I want to actually go in depth with it and stuff. And actually, like, I wrote a whole script for it and everything so I can explain, but it would have required like a full YouTube video. It wouldn't have been like a reel. You know?
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's like such an information overload. I can sit here this whole podcast and tell you every issue and every benefit that lens can give you. But yeah. After
that video, like, do you guys have like a specific posting schedule that you follow?
Not really.
We just try to upload as much as we can, and videos.
How much up like per week would you say that you guys do?
We strive for twice, but sometimes it's at least one. Yeah. Like it differs depending on our schedule. Okay.
Yeah, but we're just like relatively busy, so it is kind of hard to upload, especially because Sydney does a lot of the directing. So obviously she doesn't have time to upload it or edit it or anything like that. Although that one video blew up. I mean, we don't need to put as much editing as we've been putting.
Yeah, than we think.
The video. So we're like, look, we're gonna make them a little quicker. We can upload more often, which is better for most people. As much as we want to sit down and like edit a crap load and make it look phenomenal and pretty. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I had to think about that too.
There's no time for it. So, I'd rather upload more and give people content than upload barely and give people like 10 minutes of content.
True.
A month.
Honestly, like I feel like the ones I work on the least get the most views, and the ones like I put everything. I'm like, this looks amazing.
Yeah, you
it's
get
like
10.
the worst.
You get nothing.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But yeah, like
it kind of is like sad though, because like
it is. Well, it's because the way it works now, it's like quick form content. Like there's no happy medium, and there's no like put more more editing is better.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist anymore. That's
so
not a thing.
how do y'all think that's gonna like affect the film industry? Because everyone's attention span is like super small
It's getting
now.
shorter and shorter.
I don't know. I really don't know. There's no guessing, because like for me, at least, like I watch short form content, but when it comes to a movie, I feel like it's different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not the same kind of thing. It's very.
I feel like
you go into it aware that it's gonna be long.
Yeah, you're
So I
already
feel like it's
pre-committing.
Exactly.
The intro definitely has to hook you though.
Mm-hmm.
Like between like the 15-minute mark, there needs to be something that hooks you into the story.
Yeah. Otherwise, people are just gonna start walking out on you. Either that, or they're just not gonna give a shit. Even if there's interesting stuff later on, it's gonna be like, okay, well, the intro sucked, so why would I care about the rest of it?
Mm-hmm. Have you guys ever walked out of movies?
No.
No.
Hell, if I paid $15, $20, hell no.
Yeah, for real.
I'll deal with it.
I always give it a chance, no matter what.
What's like some of your guys' like favorite movies?
Shit. That's a hard question.
I'm a big horror buff, so like all the Conjuring movies, Insidious movies, the Saw movies.
I can't tell you my favorite movies, but I can tell you what I can think about right now. Because this will probably change if I think about it later, but The Thing is a really, really good movie. I love the cinematography. I love the way it's shot.
Thing. Okay.
Yeah, I love the story. And it's funny because like I look at the cinematography and it's so realistic, but they somehow found a way to light something that dark, a place that is usually so damn dark. So I think it's fun. And they also do stuff that I usually do, which is split diopters. I don't know. I just take a lot of inspiration out of that movie because it's just so well done. Like to me, it's a perfect movie. And then I look at other stuff like, I guess if we want to talk more recent, there's stuff like Loki, like the Loki show.
Evil Dead Rise.
Evil Dead Rise is
I haven't seen that.
phenomenal. Oh my God. Let
me write that down.
It's a great horror movie.
And you don't have to see like any of the other
You
Evil
would
Deads.
love it because the shots are beyond stylistic.
Split
Evil Dead
Diopters. Rise. It's on Max.
Yeah, it's so stylistic and it's so beautiful as a cinematographer.
It's a good horror film.
Yeah, it's a good horror film.
Why do you guys like? Why is horror your favorite genre?
I've always loved horror, but like I used to love like getting scared, but now I've watched so many I don't get scared. And my like ultimate goal in the industry is kind of to bring that back. Because I feel like horror movies are not as good as anymore.
Have you guys seen like the new Nun?
I haven't. No,
we've been wanting to though.
Yo, so I actually went to see that, and that actually scared me.
Did it?
Yeah.
I did follow me. So it was me, Nate, my boyfriend that you guys met yesterday, and his friend, and like I was genuinely so scared. But then me and Nate fell asleep for like 2 seconds because it's like a super long movie.
Yeah.
But I think the only reason that it scared me, maybe this will help you when you're like preparing your next like horror movie, but the thing was because it's like religious and like spiritual based. It's not like for the Saw, it's like a little guy like coming in, like it's not that scary to look at, but like for the Nun, I don't know, when you can relate it to real life, it freaks me out.
Like something that could actually happen.
Yeah, not that would actually, but like it depends on your beliefs, I guess. Like I'm not religious, but like sometimes like I don't know, like it's something that could, I guess
it makes you feel religious and spiritual.
I hear that a lot. Where like if it can happen to you, that's what scares you the most.
Yeah, even
but
if it's not
like you said, the Nun is kind of like
like it's not real, but like. Have you guys ever had like paranormal experiences in your life? Like when you were little?
I haven't had any.
Because I feel like when I was little, I would get like I would think like maybe I did see ghosts. I don't know.
I do have one. So me and my sister were in the car and we're on a dirt road. Now about a mile and a half or two up the road is a church where my grandmother and my grandfather are buried.
It's always a church.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
A few of my family members are there. So we're just driving, and it's me and my sister. She lives in like South Carolina, so we're just talking because we don't see each other all that often.
Mm-hmm.
And my car starts making like this super loud frequency noise, and it's almost like if there was a giant metal bumper like wedged under my car, just like screaming as I'm driving forward.
Camaro?
Yeah, in my Camaro.
Okay.
And we're like, this is weird. So I stop the car, and I'm looking around like, did I hit something?
Mm-hmm.
And I roll the window down. I start pulling forward again. Screech! So I stop again, and it's pitch black. We're like, okay. And I go again. It starts going again. And anytime I drive, it's making this super loud frequency.
Did it sound like an animal?
It was like metal dragging, which was so strange. So I get out of the car, and I turn my flashlight on, and I'm looking under the car everywhere. Like, okay, I must have run over something. And there's nothing there. So I'm like, okay. I get back in the car, and I reverse and just drive forward, and it's gone. We're like, all right, that was kind of weird, but whatever. We'll just keep going. So we get up right next to the church. There's a stop sign. And as soon as we get to the stop sign, my window's still down because I'm still like, why is my car making this sound?
Yeah.
And there's like this song playing. We think it was from the church, but it is the most, I couldn't even describe it to you.
Creepy.
It was the most like, I wrote it down because to describe it was
Were
so
they like singing
odd.
Or it was just like...
It was like children singing.
Oof. It's always the church, the old church, the children singing, and the priest coming to do their thing. That,
yes.
Like, that's when it all goes wrong.
You freaked out.
Yeah.
I wrote it down because it was something like...
Let me just double check this.
So hard to describe.
You're good.
So I wrote down that it was creepy high notes that resembled children along with many light, subtle horns. Like a lot of horns in there.
That sounds like satanic.
Yeah. And it didn't stop until our car came to a complete stop at the stop sign. Now, there's no houses around. It's purely just a church. And we're in the middle of like the country.
Is there like a bunch of trees? This is like open land?
Forest.
Forest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
Ooh,
full
that's worse.
forest.
Yeah.
And
It's the creepiest situation you could probably
But
think about.
it was like I want to replicate it in a horror film, but I can't even remember what that song sounds like. Because it was just so distinct to a point where I couldn't even describe it.
Did you, was there like words?
No. It was like very like horns and children harmonizing. And it's like
That sounds so
7,
scary.
8 o'clock at night.
Oof. Yeah,
That's
that
like
sounds
the only
horrible.
thing.
Yeah,
Close.
I bet it wasn't
But
fun.
the funny thing for me is like I get excited when that stuff happens. I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool. I'm going to write it down. And then my sister's like, oh my God, we're going to die.
It's like a real like horror like buff like fan.
Yeah, literally. I'm like, oh my God, that's great.
scary. I love it.
Yeah, because like when you watch so many, you never get that scared feeling.
Yeah.
And then when you do, it's like, oh my God.
It's kind of like a high.
Yeah,
You're chasing
exactly.
that high.
Yeah, that's literally. Yeah, I think that's literally.
I'm going to
what
go
it is.
ghost hunting.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You never had like a experience?
Nothing.
No, I wish I did now.
Don't say that. Someone watching is gonna like.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
scare the shit out
Yeah.
of me. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I do have something. It was really late at night, and I was on the couch watching TV, and it's like really, really late.
Mm-hmm.
So then, and we had this like glass door. And I get up and I go to like turn everything off, because I'm like, I'm gonna go to bed. I swear to God, I swear on my life, I have another story I can tell that's not paranormal, but it's really funny.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. And I swear to God, I saw someone walk by that door. And it was not my fucking reflection because it walked the opposite way of me.
Oof.
Yeah.
Reflections creep me out too.
Yeah.
When it comes to reflections, like I know the difference because, well, first off, it's partially my job. And second off, if I'm walking, it's going to walk with me. So I know it's just me. But this literally like walked the other way. And there's no other reflection outside that could have caused that. There's nothing. And I just remember I'm like shitting my pants. I'm like, oh fuck, was that a person? And I'm like shitting my pants. And I go, the kitchen's like right next to me. So I like go like this and I grab a knife. And I'm like, oh, something's about to happen. I'm so scared. And I go outside and I didn't see anything. There's just nothing. I don't know what it was to this day.
Do you remember what it looked like?
it almost looked like, this is gonna sound really weird. I swear to God, it looked like a guy in his underpants.
Like white guy.
White guy,
It was
short
Keeping
black hair.
Tom.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And that's another reason I know it wasn't me, because I was
Wasn't
in my
that
PJs.
the cat? Or no, that's Talking Tom, right?
Talking Tom, yeah.
Talking Tom.
Keeping Tom's like a guy that looks through windows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, and I know it was in my reflection
Throwback.
because I was wearing PJs. Like I think it was like a short sleeve shirt, and I usually wear like the classic red checkerboard like Christmas shorts or whatever.
Pants,
or shorts
yeah.
and pants.
Oh, like flannel looking.
Yeah,
plaid.
like the flannel
plaid.
pants. Yeah. Because I have like 5 of those. So I was wearing that. And this guy straight up was just in like white underwear. And he ran past. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
I feel like with my experiences, it's always been like seeing something
Yeah.
or maybe like hearing stuff like freaks me out. Like if
Yeah.
I'm in this, like sometimes when my parents are like traveling and like I'm here by myself and I have Zeus, my dog, and Skip. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I gotta take care of the animals and I hear a noise downstairs. Like I'm freaking. And this is like Florida. Like
Yeah.
you don't know who's here.
Yeah.
Florida
man did this last
Literally, you know what's crazy? Like I was hanging out with one of my neighbors because we play like board games, and they told me we didn't know about this for like months,
Yeah.
but like down the street there was a murder on the house that I literally walked by every day. I think it was like a husband
I have a
murdered
film
his
story.
wife. A film
Continue.
story?
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
continue.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
I know what he's
no, that
talking
was
about.
it. Like,
Oh, that was it? Okay.
yeah.
I know what he's
Oh
talking
wait,
about.
one more thing.
Okay.
This guy that murdered. I think he's still a suspect. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Because it's ongoing. But apparently he murdered his wife, zip tied, like they found her. And she has they have a child that I guess came home. That was horrible. But he paved like our driveway and my neighbor's driveway. And he has been in our house. My parents and my neighbors were like, oh yeah, he was super nice. Like they would have never suspected.
The guy was in your house?
Yeah, because I guess my mom gave him water or whatever. And yeah, he did our driveway. So
That's crazy.
That's
so you know her.
creepy.
I never did, but my mom met him.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Man.
Okay. Let me set the scene.
Mhm.
So we're on a feature, right? And we're shooting at night.
in Atlanta?
In Orlando.
in
Okay.
Orlando. Well, can we even talk about this?
I don't know.
We can't talk about
Did you
it.
sign an NDA?
Yeah.
We did. So
It's not
don't
out
put this
yet.
in the podcast.
We're back. I wish you guys could have heard that. Maybe you
That was
could in
crazy.
Part 2.
That's crazy.
In about a year.
Maybe
hopefully
when
the NDA like expires or something.
Yeah.
But it actually has to do with Full Sail.
Oh.
So, I just
Tea.
started. I'm gonna set the scene like you.
Okay.
I moved here like September 2019. That's when I started at Full Sail.
Yeah.
And meet this guy, and we're like not even we were like aren't even interested in each other. Like we just kind of like we both of us went to Full Sail. And we like became friends or whatever.
Yeah, because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually, when I started going to class, all of his roommates, like he was in like music or recording or whatever.
Yeah.
And all of his roommates were actually in my class. So everybody ended up knowing each other. It was cool. And I just got my new camera. And I wanted to do like photo shoots or whatever. So me and him, we planned to meet one night and do a photo shoot. And it was in Castleberry, like one of those apartments. And it was nighttime, but like this guy was cool. Like I've known what I thought.
Yeah.
And yeah, but the whole time we were hanging out, like he just like kept talking and like I didn't even say anything, which is that happens.
Yeah.
But like what he was saying was very like suspicious. Like, you know how kids are in like at Full Sail, like sometimes like they're taking way too many drugs and like you can tell. Basically, this guy, the way he was talking about his life.
Well, you see everything at Full Sail.
Yeah.
So.
Literally, like yeah, you
Not
could
to
just
speak
tell
badly of the school, more so the students.
the people. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like trying to hit him up, and I'm like, he's not answering. So I texted the other guys that were in my class, and they were like, I was like, why is he not answering? And they're like, oh, we need to meet up with you right now. Like, and I'm like, okay. Because I was like hanging out with like his roommates since we're in the same class. We were like trying to do music videos together. So I was like, okay, that's weird. So we meet up at Full Sail. Yeah. And they're like, okay, so basically this guy, like he took a bunch of drugs. And hopefully like I don't get like in trouble for this. Yeah. But he was like off multiple different drugs, so like his mind was like not normal. And he was trying to like go to some girl's house, I guess, and he was like asking everyone to use their car, and they're like, no, like you like can't drive.
Drug the hell out.
Yeah. So they're also cool with their upstairs neighbors. Yeah. Asked them to, and they were like, no, like you can't. Goes to his kitchen, grabs a knife, and starts chasing after the people.
What?
Yeah. And
the roommates or the neighbors?
The neighbor and the roommates.
Oh my God.
And he ends up stabbing one of them in the neck. The guy's good now.
Shit.
I ended up like seeing him in person, and I saw like his neck, and he's like, he was fine. But
that's
it was like
crazy.
Yeah, he stabbed him in the neck, and the roommates were showing me videos of their apartment completely like covered in blood like everywhere. And, you know, this guy, he's out of jail already. Like, he was in there probably like 2 years between then, whatever. The thing was, he had warrants like already out for his arrest. Yeah. And what's weird about it is, like, you know how Full Sail has like apartment, like roommate listings or whatever. Yeah. And he was on it. So I'm thinking, like, as a school, like, shouldn't you check?
Yeah, shouldn't you not?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So Full Sail could just house you with a murderer.
Basically,
much.
Yeah. He stabbed his last roommate.
Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah. And I was like literally alone with this man at night, like doing photography.
He could have killed you whenever.
He could have like.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Damn.
Yep.
So that's an awful segue to what I was going to say. But that's just so crazy to me. The fact that like, wow. So I'm going to tell you a story. Let me set the scene for you.
Let me know if you want me to add some 2 cents to this story.
I'll let you add it. Yeah, I'll swap and forth back and forth with you. So I'm sleeping, or no, I'm not sleeping. Sid's sleeping, and we're in bed. And I'm just on my phone, and I'm just, I'm gonna go to sleep now. Like, I'm tired.
It was like 4 a.m.
It was 4 a.m. I don't know why the hell I was up that late, but I'm tired. So then I start dozing off. And I'm right about to go to sleep when all of a sudden huge bang. We heard a gunshot. Like
in our
house, our current house in Georgia. We heard a gunshot, and I get up.
I'm sound asleep.
Yes, it's sound asleep. Yeah. And I get up and I look at Sid and I go, "Get the f up!" Like.
Why would you yell though? What if someone was like in the house?
Well, I didn't yell. I'm like, get up! Like,
I'm like in a daze. He's like, I heard a gunshot. I was like, what?
Yeah.
There's a gunshot outside the window. I was like, are you sure?
I'm like, hell yeah, I'm sure I heard glass.
And he's
break.
like, he ran to the closet because we have firearms ourselves. He ran to the closet. He's like, I gotta get a gun. Get your gun. I'm like, what? I'm out of it. I don't know what was happening.
The funny thing is, I heard glass break too. So I thought it was our bedroom. I thought the guy was like shot our bedroom window. Was like getting ready to like barge in.
He was just waiting, like,
yeah, I gotta wait till they get up. Yeah, but yeah, so we go get that, and we grab firearms, and which by the way we're licensed, and we grab that and we run over around the house. We're like looking around.
We basically cleared the entire house.
Cleared the entire house. The funny thing is we go up to Julian's bedroom and I'm holding the funniest part is when we're grabbing the firearms, I don't own any. They're all Sid's. Although at this point, they're pretty much both of ours. But yeah, so I go in there. I'm like, what should I grab? Like, what's loaded and blah, blah, blah.
What do I grab?
And she's like, I think my grandma's revolver is loaded.
And it's just grandma's. It's this really old 22 revolver.
So I grab literally, and by the way, like, I could have grabbed so many other guns. They
were all 22s.
I mean, yeah, but still, like, I could have grabbed any other gun that I could have just ba, 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 instead of ba. bah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so
but they're pretty strong though. I mean,
I mean,
right?
they are. You could definitely kill a person with it if you needed to. Not that I'd want to, but so I grabbed it. And it, again, like, it's the worst gun you could possibly think of having in a situation like that. Because again, you have to cock it every time you shoot it. And I'm not gonna like go ahead and Western style like hip fire it,
To be fair though, I had my pistol, so we were
okay. Fine. Yeah. Because we only have like 3 guns, I think. But still. So we clear the house, and I'm going up to Julian's bedroom to wake him up. And he's dead asleep. And I'm sitting here with this revolver, obviously pointing it down. But I'm like, do I really want to wake him up holding a gun?
Yeah.
I'm going to scare the absolute shit out of him. And then I thought to myself, like, I think he has his own firearm. I'm not 100% sure. I think he does. Mm-hmm. So I think at the moment I was like, he'll be fine. He'll survive if something happens. So I leave him alone, and we finish cleaning the house. And we didn't see anything. So we're like, you know what? It's been I think it was like 30 minutes to an hour. Nothing had happened. Of us just sitting there, and we're like, you know what? We're gonna go back to sleep. I think we're fine. And we put everything away. We put everything in the safe. And I mean, that was that. And Sydney went to sleep, sound, like nothing happened.
I was pretty much like, it wasn't a gunshot.
Yeah.
We're fine. We're fine.
You're still like in bed.
Yeah. And I'm fucking sitting there like and laying in the pillow. I'm like
paranoid.
Like paranoid as hell looking around. And it took me forever to go to sleep. I think I only had like 1 hour of sleep that night. Because obviously, what the hell are you gonna? You're not gonna want to go to sleep.
True.
And then when I woke up the next morning, I feel exhausted. Like I feel terrible. So, we have like a little mini fridge where we keep like our soda cans and stuff. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go get a Sprite or something to give me a little more energy. So I go in
when you
there.
wake up.
I usually don't.
It was a little
I was just
after.
so exhausted that I'm like, I'm gonna go get that. And I open up the fridge, and what had happened was a can exploded. When I say
mini
exploded,
fridge.
you can put up a picture.
My God.
When I say exploded, I mean it exploded. And what it ended up being was the glass that I heard was that it was so cold that all of the liquid turned into ice, and it sounded like shattered glass because when it exploded, it goes.
I can imagine a mini fridge too.
Yeah, but when I say it was like a gunshot, it's like a gunshot because the mini fridge is like the distance was like from me to you. From my perspective.
Yeah.
That's how close it was. Do you have a picture, Sid?
Let's see if I can pull it up before you.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it for you.
And if y'all would have like called the cops or something, and
we were gonna, but we were like, look, well, we cleared out the house and we didn't see anything, so we were like, we probably don't need to.
What if it was like a neighbor of yours though?
Well, it wasn't, thankfully.
Did you find it?
Yeah, like
that's.
It was. What was it?
It was
Pibs?
a pib.
It was like
can. I
Diet
don't drink
Pib.
it, but yeah, and it just
Jesus.
blew up.
We gotta put this in there too.
Yeah. You see, like
That's crazy. It kind of looks like crystals.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the glass that I heard. I'm not crazy. And Sid was over here acting like I was insane and I didn't hear anything.
That's hilarious.
And this and that.
I think it's fine.
So yeah, and that's our story about how
I almost got shot.
Yeah, we almost got shot in our own home.
No, that's crazy. And that was probably like a bitch to clean up too.
Yeah, it was not fun.
Well, I made her clean it up.
Yeah, I had to clean that shit up.
Last question.
Mm-hmm.
What is some advice that you would give to somebody that wants to start doing films or start a film production company?
Do it. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, the main thing that I see that everybody's like, when everybody's like, oh, I want to do a film or I want to start this or that. Mm-hmm. The biggest issue is they don't do it.
A lot of it
they
is
say
talk.
they want to do it. Yeah, it's all fucking talk.
You gotta push yourself.
Yeah, you have to push yourself to constantly make it.
Throw yourself out there.
And when there's issues, don't give up. Just get through it. It's like yesterday when we were filming, we were having issues, and I told you everything went as well as it could, and it's still the people don't see the pre-production.
Yep.
People never see the pre-production. So what's important is your product. If you can make it look good at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what arguments, it doesn't matter what anything happened, because at the end of the day, we're going to go get a beer anyways and, and chill out. work, and that's another thing, is work and life are separate. You can't put those together. But if you want to start a production company, and you know this, it's all work. Your life becomes work at the beginning. Later on, you could start chilling out and relaxing and taking time off. But at the beginning, it's just pure work. Like, you're not the first 3. Usually, I think the ideal time or something is the first 3 years, you don't make any money and you're constantly working. And then later after that, you start making money.
Yep.
That's what it is.
That's what the 3 of us have. I'm like tripping my words.
Yeah.
That's what the 3 of us have been like doing. I feel like we're all like booked and like shooting every day.
Yeah, but that's because we fucking worked for it. And that's another thing, is like, I feel like there's been people that see what me and Sid are doing and they feel jealous and they feel like we haven't deserved it. Because I've heard that before. I've heard people
Someone
be like,
has told you that?
Yeah.
Yeah. People have told us that we're given stuff.
I've been told I was drafted into it.
Yeah. You're drafted in. Yeah. And we're
I've
like,
gotten some stuff like that too.
Yeah.
but the thing is, they don't realize that we're constantly working, and we're even in school. Like, there would be times where I would have to go work, and she would have to cover for me in class.
I'd do your homework.
Yeah. Well, same the other way around.
Yeah, of course.
But that's what it was. Is like, people don't realize that we would do that. We would be constantly working. We weren't just going to school and that was it. Like, we would do stuff constantly.
And it's hard at Full Sail because like we do the accelerated programs.
Exactly.
So like,
It's a lot.
It's hard to do like were you guys doing the like 2 classes a month the whole time?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I started doing that. Yeah. And then I like halfway through I switched because it's like I don't have time to do anything outside of school.
Yeah.
When you're just doing like 2 classes a month.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is like, that's
lot.
why we're kind of lucky that we had each other, because whenever one of us had something, the other one could cover.
Yeah. So where can they find you guys?
You can find us on every platform at Cinemoth Productions. And
Except for X.
Except for X, we're not on Twitter.
We're not on Twitter.
We don't support X. No,
We're
I'm
on
just
Twitch,
kidding.
YouTube, Twitch. You want to watch our films? YouTube.
Yeah. But we also have a website. Sorry.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, sorry. I had to clear my voice.
What is our
anyway.
website, actually?
Do you know?
Yeah, do you know?
Cinemothproductions.com.
Yeah.
Thank you. But yeah, go check them out. Go check them out at cinemothproductions.com.
It'll be on the screen right here. No, I'm just kidding.
If you're watching the visual, it'll be right here.
Yeah.
And yeah, go check out their short film, and we'll see y'all soon.
We also have if you guys ever want to see our work, we have a little section on our YouTube that has like previous work and stuff like that.
A playlist.
Although we got to update it.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Same here.
Definitely.
All right, well, thank y'all for